This is a 65 Mustang, and I just changed the thermostat, changed it down from a 195 to, I think, 160 or 165, one of those two. And I found that it leaks. So, I'm going to have to pull it off and see why. Okay, so, if you look very carefully, right there, you're going to see we got water leaking. So we did not get lucky. We have to take that apart. We'll look at that again. Alright, so when we started it up, let it run a little bit, we find that there's a little leak there. And it's right here where the housing, where the thermostat is located from the manifold to the housing here. So we have to drain the water again, or press down, whatever. And I got to take a look at that. Maybe it needs another gasket. I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out. Okay, so that leaks. Okay, it doesn't. Just move this out of the way. Take this guy off. Slip that hose right off. There we go. Now it makes it easier to get at this bolt. Let's see. Okay, we got it.
T-stat.
Hey, Mark. It leaks. And that's because it doesn't have a little tiny groove where the thermostat fits in.
Oh.
Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just flat.
And the gasket doesn't have a recess?
No.
Yeah.
So,
Well, hell, then it's not ever going to be squashed flat.
Unless I get two gaskets
Mm.
and put one there and put that in between. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, one on one side, one on the other.
Wow. So
Yeah.
there's no
No,
relief on the...
no, not on that side either. No, because I saw it beforehand and I just said, gee. Well, my first attempt to put this thermostat in failed because it leaked. Part of the problem is there's no lip here for this thermostat to like recess in. And then if you look at the housing itself, it's got the same problem. It's nothing there. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to put the gasket on here, put the thermostat where it's supposed to be, And I'm going to take another gasket. I'll put it the other way around. I'll just take this white stuff off and put it here so that the thermostat rides between these two gaskets, and hopefully that will be enough to seal it. But like I said, I've never seen this before, where there's nothing there. So let me glue these together and see how that works. Okay, so I'm going to put this Permatex number 2. So this is the bottom part. Probably way too much, but then we'll put the gasket on. Make sure it's all sealed in there. And I'll put some more of this on there. And then remember how this goes. This goes to the front of the car. So, alright, so now I have the gasket glued on the housing. There's the thermostat. So now I'm going to put the other gasket on there. It's got a little sticky on there, but okay, so I'm going to match over the top of that. I'm going to put just a little tiny layer over the edge of that thermostat. Okay, so that, in theory, should glue that thermostat to the housing. Now, here we got this gasket stuff all over. Then I'll put it over top of this one here. Holes are all lined up. Instead of putting it on that housing, I'm going to put it over here. So this will glue it to everything. So if this doesn't work, I don't know what we're going to do. So I'm just going to let it sit here for about 5-10 minutes and let it dry up. Okay, now that we've got all this glued together, I'm going to put it back on. The other thing is I took a wire brush and cleaned all these threads off and put a little bit of oil on there. So let's do the hardest one, which is the bottom one. So we'll get that lined up. And we'll line up the top one. Okay, well, of course I can go with my hand, so. So I'm going to slip this hose back on here. I'll push this little clip down here. Okay, so I got the hose, 2 clamps tight. I got the housing tight with the thermostat in there. And what I'm going to do is wait till tomorrow. So I want to see if it makes any difference if this dries a little bit and hardens. Maybe that'll help it. I don't know, but... Okay, once again, I want to put these clamps on before I even put the hose on. There, make sure it's on the bottom too. Let's get rid of this clamp so it's not annoying. Okay, now let's go back and do this one. Push the clamp all the way on. Come back here. Alright. Okay, so that's not going anywhere. So let's, we got, put the thermostat in the gasket, got 2 bolts, put the hose on from the water pump back to the manifold, and then here's the hose from the housing for the thermostat, goes to the radiator. Okay, so now we can see a little bit here. Okay, so you'll see right in here, you don't see the top of the radiator coils anymore. You'll see a little bit of water. So now, what I want to do is start this thing up and let it run. And what will happen, once it gets warm, that thermostat will open, and then you'll get the circulation going through the radiator back to the motor again. And you will be able to see it right here. So I guess I'll put a little bit more in here. All right, started the car up, let it run. I filled it up with Prestone, and what happened is warming up that it triggered the thermostat, and I would open it up, so I'm going to put more Prestone in there. Okay, it's almost full. As you can see, I don't know if you can or not, but the water, Prestone water is rushing across the top of the radiator, so you know it's got good flow. Let me put just a little bit more, I want to put water in there a little bit. And we look at the temp gauge. So that's about normal. Okay, so the radiator's full. As you can see, the water rushing across, so that means the pump is working, the thermostat is open, and it's just circulating. So now I'm going to put the cap on, put it on a little pressure, and I'm going to wait a little bit and see if that hose on the bottom is leaking, or this one's leaking, or any of them are leaking. And there it is. Now, what you got to be careful for around these cars is that fan, because there's no shroud around it. You can see it here. There's no shroud around that. So if you hit that with your finger, it's going to be gone. You hit it with a tool, it's going to take off. Okay, so just be careful. Other than that, no problem. Okay, so now you know how to do it. Okay, so you look very carefully. Right there, you're going to see we got water leaking. So we did not get lucky. We have to take that apart. We'll look at that again. Alright, so when we started it up, let it run a little bit, we find that there's a little leak there. And it's right here where the housing where the thermostat is located from the manifold to the housing here. So we have to drain the water again, or Prestone, whatever. And I got to take a look at that. Maybe it needs another gasket. I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out.